In continuation with the last video, we are working on the Tesla Charge Calculator. So inside the components, we are going to create a folder Tesla Climate, and inside that we will have two files, Tesla Climate.js and Tesla Climate.css. So each of our component will have a JavaScript file and it will have a CSS file. So first we will see the JavaScript and later on we will work on the CSS. So inside Tesla Climate.js, I'm importing React from React, and I'm also importing the CSS file that is Tesla Climate, which is present inside the same folder. Next, I'm going to create a const Tesla Climate, and I will pass props inside it as an argument. So here inside my div tag, I have the class name Tesla Climate. I am going to add a label, and inside the label I will insert a class name and we will display the props here. This label has a class name Tesla Climate item, and we are going to display our props inside it. So I'm using the $sign and I will write props.value, and after that we will write Tesla Climate and item active. So whatever is active, we will display that. And this next we are going to use a ternary operator here, that is props.limit, and we will check if the limit is inside our Tesla heat or something. We are going to set a limit, then we will display one minute, let me just so we will display Tesla heat, or we will just display an empty string. Next I'm adding a p tag. Inside the p tag we are going to display the props.limit. After that we are checking, this is a ternary operator, so if the AC, or it will display the heat. And we are also displaying props.value, and if it is on or it is off. So we are going to check that according to our ternary operator. Next I'm going to add an I tag. So this is an icon. It has a class name Tesla Climate __ icon. Next we are going to have an input tag. This input tag has the type checkbox, and it has the name climate, and if it is checked then we will check for props.value, and the onChange function is assigned to props.handle change climate. So we are going to create this handle change climate. And lastly we are going to define our props types. So Tesla Climate.props type, it has a value react.proptype.bool, and it has a limit of react.proptype.bool. And our last is handle change climate. It is assigned to react proptype.function. So we are just going to write the short form, and lastly we will export default the Tesla Climate. After this we are going to see the CSS at the end. So let us just go ahead and create another component. This component is named Tesla Counter. So again we will have two files, Tesla Counter.js and Tesla Counter.css. So inside our Tesla Counter.js we are just going to import React from React, and we will import our Tesla Counter.css file for the CSS styling. Next we are going to create our const Tesla Counter, and here we are going to pass props, and inside the div tag we will have a p tag. Here we will display props dot init value dot title. This div tag has a class name Tesla counter, and our p tag has the class name Tesla counter underscore underscore title. So it will just display the title. Next we will have a div tag which will have a class name of Tesla counter underscore underscore container and cf. So we will have one more class name, so we have just mentioned cf before. Next div tag has the class name of Tesla counter item, and inside that we are having a p tag. This p has a class name of Tesla counter underscore underscore number, and here we will display the current value, so props dot current value, and inside the span we are going to display props dot init value. So whatever was the initial value, we will just represent that dot unit. Lastly, we will add a div tag. This div tag has the class name Tesla counter underscore underscore controls, and it will have a button. So this is the switch where we are giving AC on or AC off option. So that is the button which we are talking about. It has the class name of Tesla counter, not class name. Here we are going to add on click function. This on click function takes the event E, and it has props dot increment, so we can increase the speed or decrease the speed according to that, and it is going to have E and props dot init values dot title inside it as an argument. It will also have disabled, so if we disable it, then it will display props dot current value, which is assigned to props dot init value dot minimum. And we will add the prop types. So Tesla counter dot prop types, and here we will have current value, which is assigned to react dot prop type dot number, and the increment is assigned to react dot prop type dot function, and decrement is assigned to react dot prop type dot function. The init value is assigned to react dot prop type dot object. We will lastly export default Tesla counter. Next we are going to create another component named Tesla notice. Here also we will have two files, Tesla notice.css and Tesla notice.js. So inside Tesla notice.js we are going to write the following code: importing React from React, and we will also import the CSS, that is Tesla notice.css. Now we will create the const Tesla notice. Here we are going to pass an arrow function, no props, and here we are going to display a few p tags here. So giving the div class name of Tesla battery notice, and inside that we will have a p tag. So you can display whatever you like, but I'm just writing a random code, that is the actual amount of range that you experience will vary based on your particular use condition. And we are just writing C how particular use condition may affect your range in our simulation model. So this is what we are going to display, like the Tesla car would display, and another p tag which says vehicle range may vary depending on the vehicle configuration, and battery age and condition, driving style and operating environmental and climate conditions also. Now we will look at the CSS of the file. So first of all, Tesla climate.css. Inside that we have Tesla climate float left. The Tesla climate items have a cursor pointer display block with 100 pixels, height 100 pixel, a border radius, and the item active has a color, a background. Pay attention to the most linear gradient. This will give the gradient effect, and you can just copy paste all this code by pausing the video, because everyone knows that the CSS is not that important. Also, here inside the Tesla climate icon we are having a background image URL where we are importing AC of SVG file. The icon has a display of block with 22 pixels, height 22, margin 8, background image no repeat, and background position is center. It also has a URL, so you can see there are 4 URLs. These are SVG files: AC of SVG, heat of SVG, AC on SVG, and heat on SVG. So they are present inside the assets folder inside the climate. So these are the 4 SVG files. These are normal SVG files, so you do not need to worry anything about what is inside them. And next we have the Tesla climate p tag. It has a margin of 14 pixels, text align is center, font size is 10 pixels, and text transform is uppercase. The checkbox has a border of 0, clip of rectangle, height of 1 pixel, and a little bit of padding, position absolute, and width of 1 pixel. You can see inside the climate we have these 4 files. These are the SVG files that we are using. At the end of this project we will push this code inside the GitHub, so you can fetch the files and the codes from there if you have any issues. Now inside the next we have our Tesla notice.css. We have a margin of 20 pixels, font size of 15 pixels, a color, and a line height of 20 pixels. Lastly, we have our third CSS file, that is Tesla counter.css. Here we have Tesla counter has float left of width 230 pixels. Next is letter spacing 2 pixel, font size of 16 pixel, margin of the container has 10 pixel, padding of 14 pixels. The input of the container has a border and a height, a margin, overflow is hidden, padding of 0, position is absolute, width is 1 pixel, and the Tesla counter number has a font family of Roboto normal, font size of 25 pixel, line height of 25 pixel, font weight is 400, and position is relative. Now the span which we included inside the Tesla counter number has a position absolute, top 0, left 35 pixels, font size is 15 pixels, and text transform is uppercase. The Tesla counter item has a position relative, width is 100%, height is 65 pixels, border is 1 pixel solid, and display will be inline block, a little bit of padding, a margin, some background color, position you can see I've given it a small percentage, and the background size will be 44 pixels. We have more of SVG files here, so you can see the button is styled, it has an outline, width, and pay attention to the Tesla counter control button first child. So it has a border bottom and a background image, again an SVG file up.svg, and the other is down.svg, which is present inside assets inside the counters folder. We will not be displaying all our items inside app.js, only header and Tesla notice. So this is our output for today's video. We'll see in the next video. Thank you.